The island of the golden release. The salt spray kissed George's face as the sea serpent, their sturdy little vessel, crested another wave. He adjusted his spectacles, peering through the swirling mist. Beside him, Amira hummed a tuneless melody, her fingers tracing patterns on a worn map. Michael, perched on the mast, shouted, "Land ahoy! Dead ahead!" For weeks they had sailed, three friends united by a shared thirst for adventure. George, the scholar, sought to uncover forgotten lore. Amira, the cartographer, yearned to chart uncharted territories. And Michael, the ever-optimistic daredevil, simply wanted to see what lay beyond the horizon. The land that loomed from the fog wasn't the sun-drenched paradise they'd imagined. It was an island cloaked in gray, its jagged cliffs rising like broken teeth. The sea serpent creaked as they dropped anchor in a silent obsidian bay. "Abandoned," Amira declared, stepping onto the black sand. No sign of life, not even birdsong. An unsettling silence blanketed the island. Dilapidated stone structures, swallowed by vines, hinted at a forgotten civilization. George, his fingers itching to uncover secrets, led the way, his lantern casting long, dancing shadows. They ventured deeper into the island's heart, discovering crumbling temples, weathered statues, and glyph-covered walls. George, poring over the carvings, felt a thrill course through him. This island, it wasn't just abandoned, it was emptied, as if everyone vanished overnight. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of bruised purple, they found a grand plaza. In its center stood a colossal statue of a serpent, its emerald eyes glinting faintly in the fading light. Suddenly, the ground trembled. From the serpent statue's mouth, a beam of green light shot into the sky. The air crackled with energy. "What was that?" Michael exclaimed, clutching his arm. From the shadows, figures began to emerge. Not living beings, but shimmering, translucent echoes of people. They wore ancient garb, their faces etched with confusion and fear. They were the inhabitants of the island, frozen in time, released momentarily by the serpent statue's energy. George, remembering a faded passage from an ancient text, realized the truth. The island? It was protected by a magical barrier. The serpent statue was its source. Something happened, something that trapped its inhabitants in an ethereal sleep, a moment frozen forever. The spectral figures saw them, their silent cries echoing in the still air. One, a young woman, reached out a translucent hand towards Amira, her eyes filled with pleading. "We have to help them," Amira said, her voice trembling. George knew what had to be done. The text spoke of a way to reactivate the barrier, not to trap, but to release. The serpent statue held the key, but it required a sacrifice, a piece of something precious, given willingly. "I have an idea," Michael said, reaching into his satchel. He brought out a compass, its needle spinning wildly. It was a gift from his father, a seasoned sailor. He'd carried it across countless seas. "This compass guided me through many storms," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "But these people need it more." He knelt before the serpent statue and placed the compass at its base. As the brass touched the stone, the serpent's eyes glowed brighter. The beam of green light intensified, washing over the ethereal figures. One by one, they began to fade, not into nothingness, but into a shimmering golden light that dispersed into the sky. The young woman smiled at Amira, a look of gratitude in her fleeting eyes, before she too disappeared. The tremor stopped. The green light faded. The island was silent once more, but this time, it felt different. Lighter, freed. When the sun rose the next morning, bathing the island in golden light, the obsidian bay seemed less menacing. The black sand glittered with tiny fragments of emerald, remnants of the serpent statue's magic. As they weighed anchor, ready to set sail, George looked back at the island. The abandoned city no longer felt haunted, but peaceful. They had not found treasure or glory, but something far more valuable. They had helped a lost civilization find its way home. And as the sea serpent cut through the waves, Amira updated her map, adding a new island and a new legend. The island of the golden release, where kindness and courage had broken a spell, and the compass of a good-hearted sailor had guided lost souls to freedom. Their adventure on the abandoned island had taught them that the greatest treasure wasn't found on a map, but in the depths of their own hearts.